Well, hello and welcome. My name is Sherry Higdon, and I want to welcome you into my home this evening for our time to get together so that I can share with you how the program that my husband and I used to lose over 80 pounds combined in about 12 weeks. And we've kept that weight off now for going on 2 years. So yeah, we're not going to hesitate. I don't want to keep you any longer than absolutely necessary, but I wanted to hop on here before I jumped into the slides and just give you a quick hello. So let's just go ahead and get right into it because I know that's what you came for. All right, so let's get this over here. Hopefully that is out of the way enough for you guys that it won't disturb you. Again, hi, my name is Sherry Higdon. I am a RN, entrepreneur, wife, mother, grandmother now, certified health coach, and a weight loss lifer. So just to give you the credentials, which you're going to learn more about as we go along, why I am qualified to sit here and talk to you about weight loss problems, weight loss issues, because I've been at it all my life. And I finally stumbled across something a couple of years ago that was truly different than anything I had found ever. And so that's why but got so excited about it that I decided right away I wanted to become a health coach and share this with others because, as I said, I'm an entrepreneur as well, home full time, and I learned very quickly that the way to maintain my excitability about this was to share it with others. So that's why you're here, and that's what we're doing. So let's see if we can get this to cooperate. There we go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about distractions and disclaimers. First of all, here's a couple of my little distractors that might come along on the scene tonight. You might hear them because um, any intruders that they consider intruders into the neighborhood that doesn't have their permission to be here, you might hear them making a racket. So I just wanted to introduce them to you very quickly. And before we officially get started, I get it. Getting dialed in can be very difficult. We're all so busy. We have so much information coming at us that to make the decision to come sit down at a webinar, take your time out and be able to think, okay, can I focus long enough to do this? Gets harder and harder every single day. We all now have the attention span of a gnat, hence the little bug you will see. I'm not quite sure if that's the greatest rendition or not, but it's just true. We all have very, it's difficult. So I really want you to just sit back, grab a Slurpee, and just relax because we're not going to make this difficult. We're not going to make it hard on anybody. We're just going to spend a little bit of time together. I'm going to share with you my story, our story, what this did for me, and let you make your own decisions. Totally painless, no pressure. So I want you to just relax and put away all distractions that anything that you can, except obviously you can't tape the kids to the wall. You can't get rid of the youngins, and I get that, but as much as you possibly can, if you can put other things away so you can focus a little bit, that'd be great. Distraction and disclaimers are we don't make any health claims or weight loss guarantees because obviously that is up to each individual as to what you will or won't do, can or can't do, that sort of thing. So we just don't make any guarantees. That way we don't get ourselves in trouble. We also don't make any financial income claims or promises because again, we just can't. Legally, you guys know that, and we wouldn't do that anyway because that's how people that get out there on the internet and anywhere and try to make these wild claims as to what you can and can't do and that sort of thing. It's not fair to individuals to do that. And as always, it's recommended that you consult your physician before you start any new program. So that's totally up to you if you feel it necessary to do that. Totally up to you, but just want to put that out there. All right, housekeeping is done, I do believe. So let's move right along. Who is this for? Well, this is for you tonight if you are frustrated with where you are with your health. And when I say health, if I'm talking about, if you hear me using the word health a lot, that encompasses your body image, how you feel in your clothes when you go out, how you feel, your energy level, your ability to do the things that you want to do. If you're just flat frustrated with where you're at, um, then this is for you tonight. You've tried multiple diets in the past, but it never sticks. Perhaps you are like me and you've gone down the gastric bypass road, or you're contemplating doing that. And my goal tonight is not to try to talk you out of that. If you have made that decision and you feel like that's what you're going to do no matter what, you may be one of those individuals who the doctor has said you have to lose some weight before you can even have surgery. And if you have, then this is for you as well. If you've had the surgery and regained weight, this is for you. If you've recently had the surgery and unsure about what to eat or having difficulties, then this would be for you as well. So, if you want to be able to feel good in your clothes, regardless of the social setting, I mean, let's just be real here, okay? I mean, yes, we want to be healthy. Yes, we need to boost our immune systems right now more than we've ever needed to in the past, right? Uh, but we just want to feel good. We want to feel good in the clothes that we put on and we go out. We pick the clothes that we pick because we liked how they looked on somebody or we thought they would look good on us. And just being able to go out and feel like, you know what, I'm okay, and not have that feeling of being miserable. This is for you if the thought of being able to regain your health, vitality, and increase your longevity, be around for the long term, increase uh, your lifespan. If that would be of importance to you, then you're in the right place for tonight. You want to once and for all achieve your weight goal, optimize your health without exercise, deprivation, or starvation. And let me clarify on the exercise thing. I'm not anti exercise. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, because obviously, exercise, moving your body is always going to be a good thing for you, always. But the way to lose weight is based on what you eat, not beating it off at the gym. And if anybody's ever followed The Biggest Loser, you will know that that is not the answer. In fact, one of our clients was a contestant on Biggest Loser and regained all the weight back that he lost plus some, and now re-lost the weight on using this program without doing a stitch of exercise. So it's not contingent on the exercise. That's the beauty of this program. What you will learn. You're going to hear about my lifelong journey with obesity. You're going to hear about some of my struggles. And the reason I talk about my story and some of my current health challenges is not to try to bore you to pieces, because that can get, a little boring if you try to listen to someone's lifelong journey. I get that. But I share those things so that, for those who are like, oh, okay, yeah, I have this, or, oh yeah, I've dealt with that, or something like that. So you have that sounding board, or you have that comparison to go to. So plus it just fits. I mean, this is our journey. This is what brought us to this place, right? The answer that I found that finally worked, how it works. We're going to talk about how you can get started. And we have a little bonus that's good for those who are on this webinar. All right. A little bit about my journey from first grade to the first baby. Well, you might look at that picture on the left and think, wait a minute, you said you were a lifer. You've been overweight all your life, right? Well, I started on my first diet before I was in the first grade. I was the fat child in school that was teased mercilessly. I was that person. And I was miserable, had no friends, if hardly any, and growing up in high school, that sort of thing. So yeah, I was that kid. That was my life. And in my early 20s, right, in fact, right around 20, on New Year's Eve night, my dad and I made a bet to see who could lose 50 pounds the fastest, would owe the other person $50. Well, for whatever reason, I woke up the next morning and started on that diet and never stopped. And went on to lose 100 pounds. He never did give me my $50 either. But um, that aside, I kept that off from then until I got married, and this was my best adult weight at that point, when I got married. And then very shortly thereafter, I got pregnant, and that was that. I mean, it came back with a vengeance. One of the challenges that I have, besides fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, degenerative disc in my back, hypothyroidism, it's hypothyroidism. And yeah, I didn't know that. I was undiagnosed, and so I just exploded with my pregnancy, and then it did not want to budge. So the picture on the left is what I went to after having my babies, and that was the struggle. That's where I was, and I had a smile on my face in that picture, but I hated myself. I hated being that way. By May of 1999, I was done. I was like, okay. I was home one day and I saw a news clip. It was actually on the news of this young lady who had had gastric bypass surgery, and she looked amazing. And so I got in touch with my husband and I said, well, I think I've made a decision. I'm going to have surgery. And he's like, what? Um, and so, yeah, I kind of didn't look back from that moment when I just decided that I couldn't live like this anymore. And I knew that I was very quickly going to pass 400 pounds and, um, I'm sorry, 300 pounds. I don't want to make it sound worse than it was. Um, but I was approaching 300 pounds, and I just, in my mind, I knew that would be it for me. That would crush my soul, and I could not let that happen. So in May of 1999, I decided to have the bypass surgery, and that went fairly well. Had the surgery, and other than the little episode where I was accidentally overdosed on pain medication and coded and ended up in the ICU. But as far as the surgery itself, I recovered. I came home. I lost some weight, and I just kind of settled down into a place where I was comfortable until several years later, around 2011, I developed um, an issue called sphincter of Odie. I know it sounds really crazy. Sphincter of Odie disorder. And with that, I ended up having to have multiple surgeries. And um, I started regaining weight. And I found out later that that's one of the quote unquote side effects of this sphincter of Odie thing is it causes you to regain weight. Well, I was freaking out. I was freaking completely out because here I'd gone through all that, kept that weight off all this time without any real struggle or effort. Now, I'm not to say that I was back down to my wedding weight because I wasn't, but I was comfortable. I was comfortable where I was. I was able to be there with, eating, just eating normal, kind of doing my own thing. And then all of a sudden, nothing was normal anymore. And I became very gluten intolerant, fiber intolerant, just really crazy wonky stuff. And so I was just desperate again in by 2000, the end of 2018 when we found this program. So moving right along, we do everything together. We're one of those odd couples, we just go everywhere together. We're together as much as we possibly can be. And that's us. So, yep, we gained weight together and we lost weight together. So this is telling primarily my story, but we did this together. So on the left was us at the Biltmore Mansion, 2018, prior to starting on the program, and we were celebrating our anniversary, and then we started on this program. So yeah, it's been a couple of years now that we've started that we did it, and we've been able to maintain for the most part that weight loss. So what is it? It's a meal program, but when I say meal program, I don't mean like a Jenny Craig or one of those. It's different from that. I tried that once before and I was miserable. I didn't lose a pound and I was hungry all the time. You're going to get a box of food that comes to your door, and in that box is everything from shakes, bars, brownies, penne, mac and cheese, soup, um, chips, not chips, but crunchies, and I'm just trying to think, oatmeal. I mean, there's so many different things to choose from. It's just a variety of options. What those are called, what's in that box are called fuelings. They're not snacks and they're not meals, but they're fuelings, and they're interchangeable, meaning that if you wanted to have the brownie when you first woke up for breakfast in the morning, you could, because everything in that box is equal. It's equal in calories, it's equal in protein, carbs. It's non-GMO, nothing artificial. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals, and that's going to become very, very, Very important as we move along. So don't forget that, the vitamins and minerals, and it has a proprietary probiotic. What we're going to have you do, we're going to have you eat 6 times a day, starting within an hour of when you first wake up. And you can choose again 5 times a day. You're going to choose something from the box. Doesn't matter in what order. Like I said, if you want to have the brownie when you first wake up, that's fine. If you want to have a bar, if you want to have a shake, if you want to have a hot chocolate. For someone like me, this is a dream come true because I can have chocolate all day long and lose weight. It's awesome. So 5 times a day, you're choosing something from the box. The food is delicious. It's easy. It comes looking like prepackaged food. And I tell people all the time, do not let this fool you. This is, hear me good, this is not prepackaged food. This is super nutrition disguised as food. What you're putting in your body is going to change. Your little body is going to love you because it's going to be like, where has this been? I've been waiting for this kind of nutrition. Even people who tell me they have a nutritionist. I have had so many consultations with people. Oh yeah, well, I have a nutritionist, but they have 100 pounds to lose. They are so unhealthy. So what we're putting in our mouths out there, even when we buy organic, even when we think we're eating healthy, we absolutely are not. 1 time a day, you're going to have what we call a lean and green. Now, what's a lean and green? A lean and green is a meal that you're going to either prepare for yourself or you're going to be eating out. And that's going to be a designated amount of protein with some vegetable on the side. And that's just another one of the many reasons I love this program, because they thought of everything. You're not limited to just eating from the box, and you're not on your own having to prepare all these crazy meals that you just like, okay, I can't keep this up, right? Excuse me. But 1 time a day, you have a lean and green, which is something that you can make this be something that you're familiar with. You have something that, is what you're used to, so you're not feeling deprived. And also, if you need to go out, the very first day on this program, very first day, my husband and I had to be out and about that day. We didn't have any choice. We had to be. So we stopped off at Cracker Barrel, and I got some grilled chicken tenders with some broccoli and green beans, and he got a grilled chicken salad, salad with some fixings on it and grilled chicken. And I lost 7 pounds the first week, and he lost 13. So if we messed up, we didn't mess up too bad. But again, that's why I love this, because let's say it's Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, he and I started on this program the 1st of October, and by Thanksgiving we were smoking it. I mean, we were dialed in. The weight was falling off, and we were like, you know what? We are not going to let Turkey Day mess us up. So we went to that meal for Thanksgiving, and we focused on the protein. We made turkey our main thing, so we put that on our plate, and then we just got a few bites of whatever else we thought might look good or whatever. But again, we didn't say anything was completely off limits. Well, we sat there and we both had 1 plate of food, took our time, enjoyed it, had 1 plate of food. And when we were done, we stopped. We didn't go back for seconds. We were both satisfied. We were done. And you know what? We didn't even have dessert because we had our brownie waiting for us when we got home. And it was like there was nothing that I wanted there enough to take a big slug of sugar. So we just didn't. We didn't. And we felt good. And everybody else, bless their hearts, everybody else at the table was like, oh, I'm miserable. I'm so miserable. So yeah, it gives you that option. And we didn't have to feel like, oh man, we fell off the wagon. Now we're going to, well, we might as well go ahead and just eat whatever, because that was our designated meal for the day. And boom, then we went right on. So I love it. They have thought of everything with this program for you. It's scientifically proven, scientifically done. It was formulated by physicians to help people. So it is truly like being on a physician regulated diet. Is just amazing. So here we are 8 weeks into the deal. On the left was the first day of the program. We sat down and did a little video just to announce, because one of the key ways that you can guarantee to yourself that you will stay in this for the long haul and you'll keep off what you lose is to put yourself out there and live out loud. I don't care if you become a coach or not, but if you will share your journey with others, not only will it help them, but it will help you more. Because 2 years later, we have not regained all of our weight. Like I said, I'm right at where I landed, and Dean may have gained back a little less than 10 pounds, but he needed to put back on a little bit because he was getting a little on the skinny side, if you ask me. So to do that 2 years later, and why? What was our motivation? What's our motivation for continuing to keep this product and this program in our lives, even after we've officially lost the weight that we started out to lose? It's because we became health coaches and we put ourselves out there, and we have people who, who have gone along on this journey with us. And it's just motivating when others are going on the journey with you. Now, that's not to say that you have to be a coach to do this. You have to go that route, but I highly recommend it because it is truly, I started noticing when I started, first got on the program, that the people that I was, watching and listening to, these were coaches that had been with this program for years and years and years, and their weight was still off. I'm like, there you go. That is it. That's amazing. So here we are 8 weeks later with no exercise, no starvation or deprivation. And I can tell you for a fact, because Dean and I were eating exactly the same amounts of food, and I kept checking with him. Are you okay? Are you sure you're not hungry? Because I knew I was doing great. I was fine. But I'm thinking, okay, this is a man and he's used to eating a lot more food than this. Just, and he wasn't. He was not hungry. And I've heard that many, many times from other clients as well, that they were not hungry. So what do you get on this program? What you get in your box is a month's supply of fuelings loaded with nutrition. And I tell people this all the time. And I say that I have a license to do it because I'm a registered nurse. But I honestly believe that you could not get a higher level of nutrition unless you went to the hospital, had them put a tube down your nose and fed you TP. And I honestly feel that strongly about the quality of the nutrition in this program, and it is the nutrition that makes this program different. It's not the little bars, it's not a shake, it's not a peel, it's not that. It's the total combination of all of it together. By the end of the day, when you've had 5 of those fuelings, you've had 100% of the vitamins and minerals that they want you to put in your body, plus adding in what you add in with your own fueling. You're not just getting one little jab of protein a day. Every time you have a fueling, you're getting protein. So by the end of the day, you have loaded your body with pure nutrition. And guess what? It kicks into fat burn mode. Health coaching you get with a full-blown system to help keep you on track. We have Facebook groups to keep you inspired by others. You will have access to healthy recipes and nutritional support. And you have access to weekly webinars and videos to support you on your journey. Now, as a customer, you also get reward credits with each order and free shipping. So that's pretty cool. We use that all the time too. 12 weeks into our program, and here we are. No CPAP, no snoring. This is no joke. My husband had severe sleep apnea. I mean, it was so bad. We both weren't getting any sleep. And for me, with the fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, it just made my situation way, way worse. Within 2 weeks, this is why I said, do not ever forget what I'm telling you about the nutrition in this program, because I know that's what that's what's doing it in our bodies. That's what's making the difference here, because within 2 weeks of being on this program, he stopped snoring. He was off his CPAP machine. He has not been back on it since. But I can tell you this, once we got off of the weight loss mode and kind of went into maintenance mode and started picking up and eating some other regular foods more, still having, I mean, it's part of our lives every single day. We have our fuelings every single day. We'll have 2 to 3 fuelings, and then we'll have a meal. But, we're not getting the 5 fuelings a day like we were before. And when we went on maintenance mode, and after he picked back up a couple of pounds, but mostly it was the food. It was the nutrition. I'm convinced that's what it was, because he had been small before. He'd been weight-wise a lot less before. So it wasn't always like he's always been big and that's been the issue for the sleep apnea. No. He was told he had both kinds of apnea, central and obstructive. Like, his nose was clogged up, for lack of a better word, and his nasal passages and airway was narrowed. He wasn't getting in enough air, plus his brainstem just wasn't functioning properly for his body to tell him to breathe when he was asleep. And I know that's a lot of detail on the snoring, but someone out there may be going through this themselves with their spouse, or maybe you're going through it yourself and you're on the dreaded CPAP machine that everybody hates. Everybody hates it. Well, he got off. So let's talk about cost and commitment. For a little less than $12 a day, you get 5 fuelings. You get a month's supply of these in a box, and for about $12 a day, you will have 5 fuelings a day every single day. And for a little comparison, if you went to Chick-fil-A right now and ordered a chicken sandwich with some fries and a Coke, you'd be spending that much. I mean, there's no way. People are eating out every single day. The extra stuff that you pick up at the store and all that it absolutely will help pay for itself or drastically offset the price by the things that you're not buying anymore. When you go out and about, you grab your bars, you put them in your bag, you take them with you. You're going to work, you can have your soup in a thermos or whatever else that you're going to have to eat. And it's even better the longer it sits anyway, because it has time to just kind of marinate. It offsets itself monthly in cost. One of the things that my husband and I noticed for us was that, it's not going to offset 100% because you still have to buy items for your fuelings. I mean, for your lean and green, right? So there is going to be some cost at the grocery. But if you're not buying the cookies and the chips and the crackers and the bread and all those things, the pastas and all that stuff that is hurting our bodies, even when we think, oh, I'm buying the whole wheat kind, or I'm having this kind of milk or whatever. And no, it's actually hurting us. So when you're leaving all that stuff off and you're investing it in this, you are investing in yourself and your future and your body. Premier customers receive 10% reward credit, and that means every single time you order, you get 10% of whatever you spend back in your cart. It goes in there automatically so that it's waiting for you for your next order, and that stays there as long as you remain a Premier customer. You also get, free shipping. Now, with Premier customers, you are on an auto ship each month, but you are not locked into that. There is no membership. There is no long-term commitment. So you could cancel at any time. You have the option to go into your back office. Let's say next month you're going to be out of town on a certain day and you need your order box to arrive on a different day. Then obviously you can go in your back office and change the date for your next order. Or when, let's say, you got your first box and you've had a variety of stuff and now you're like, oh man, I love this, I want more of this, or no, I don't want as much of that. Great. Before your next order, you go in and you change it around and get what items that you particularly want in your box. And of course, I would be here to help you along the way and show you how to do all that. Again, no contract. You can cancel it anytime if you wanted. And it is possible for you to get your food paid for each month. Now, I'm not going to go into that tonight because that's not what this webinar is about. We're primarily just introducing you to the products and the program and what it's all about and that sort of thing. But yes, it is possible for you to get your food paid for and beyond if you wanted to do that. And that just encompasses becoming a health coach. And then if you decide to do like I did and take it to the next level, you could become a certified health coach, which means you can get increased commissions for sharing this with others. So you know what? I would share this with people all day long, even if I was not a health coach. So why not be a health coach and use that to my advantage to help me keep my weight down? And now I'm ready to go to the next level. I want to get down even further because I'm not done. I kind of leveled off again and got comfortable. Well, I'd like to lose some more too. And I thought, the way to relaunch my own self is to invite others to go on that journey with me. So I would be doing this even if I weren't a health coach. But again, with as few as 5 referrals, if you referred 5 friends or anyone, and who's going to see you losing weight and not want to know what you're doing? Nobody. Nobody that you know. So definitely getting 5 people would not be hard at all. And so let's talk about our little bonus offer that we have for this webinar only. Those folks who see this webinar, this is available to you. And that's Dr. A's Complete Habits of Health System. Inside this program, there is available to you every kind of support you could ever imagine. But on top of everything else, Dr. A has put together a Habit of Health system, which includes his Habit of Health book, the 2nd edition, It includes a life book for you, which is like a journal that you go through, help you along the way, and it gives you access to a Habits of Health app on your phone. So again, you can stay plugged in, you can monitor your progress, that sort of thing. And so for those who purchase their first kit tonight, if you say, Sherry, I'm ready, I want to do this, I want to get that first kit ordered, I want to get it on its way, I am ready to take my health back, and you order your first kit, then that Habits of Health system, which is $49 normally if you purchase it on your own, will be my gift to you. So I'm just going to put that out there, and that's not going to be available forever and ever. You have to be part of this webinar. So on the left, you see us. This was our mugshot on day 1 of the program. And I don't know how it is. I mean, you don't set out to do that, but it's like when you go back to start putting your pictures together from, you start losing weight and then you want to go back and make comparisons. It's like, could we have taken a worse picture? How did we take such terrible pictures on day 1? I mean, literal mugshots. Just terrible, just terrible. But here we are on the right, and I don't even know how far into the program we are there, but my question is, do you think we regret spending the money on ourselves? And still yet, month after month, we place our order. And I have clients who have been with us since day 1. They saw the progress we were making, and they're like, I'm in, and they've been in. They have not missed a month either, because they see what it does and how it makes you feel. Your energy level is going to go through the roof. And I'll tell you something else that happened to me that I thought, well, this is a rare thing, but it wasn't. I found out later that it actually happened. But one of the fuelings that I tried when I first started the program, I was like, oh, I don't like this. I'll set this one aside. I probably won't have that unless it's, in case of emergency. Well, 2 weeks into the program, I got that fueling back out and tried it again and liked it so much that I ended up ordering more. So I always tell people, don't count anything out. Don't turn your nose up, especially in the beginning, because your taste buds are sick. Your taste buds are so defective right now from all the garbage and the junk and the sugar and all the stuff that we've been putting in our bodies that it's gonna change. Your taste buds will change. And I promise you that, just like on that Thanksgiving, our first Thanksgiving, um, I was ready to come home and eat. I couldn't wait to get home and have my brownie. It was like my body was crying out, where's my good nutrition? Where's my good nutrition? And I promise you that will happen for you as well if you decide to jump on this program with me. So let's say you're in. You say, okay, what's my next step, Sherry? What do we do? What's the next thing? Okay. Um, so first thing we need to do is get you on my private email list. And the reason we want to do that is because it will give you access to replays to any of the upcoming webinars that we have, or information about the company. And don't worry, you're going to have access to the website, and you can see what the food looks like. You're going to have access to all of that very shortly. So not to worry. What I'm going to have you do is go to www.sherryhigdonprivatelist.com. And when you get there, you put your name and email in, and then on the second page, it's going to take you to a next page. And that link there, when you click on it, will take you to my company website page. And that's when you can look around. You'll see my picture at the top there, and you'll know you're in the right place. But I want to make sure that you get on my private list so that you get all access to all upcoming information, and we have a way to correspond. So I've kind of done that so we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can get on that private list, get the follow-ups, get the recordings of webinars, and then also have access to go straight to the website. Most people will start on the 5-in-1 Essential Optimal Plan. And that is, there's a kit called the 5-in-1 Essential Optimal Plan. So should you decide to get started tonight, you would go to the website and you would choose that plan, and you could take out the Habits of Health system, because that would be something that I would get for you. If you're part of this webinar, if you're not sure, check with me, like, did I qualify for that or no? So you check with me first if this is at a later date that you're watching this, to be sure. But you can take that off, or you can leave that on, depending whatever you want to do. But the 5-in-1 Essential Optimal Plan is where most people start. You only need to talk to me if you're ready to get started and you want me to help you place your first order, that's what we're here for. So I'm more than happy to hop on the phone with you, or we can do a Zoom and I can walk you through getting your first order set up. If you said, hey, I think I'm pretty proficient here, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go to the website, I'm gonna click on the Essential Optimal Plan, I'm gonna get this thing ordered, I want this box coming. Just make sure you tick the box that says Premier Customer so you can get that free shipping and you can get your 10% credit for next time. If you don't tick the box that says Premier Customer, you won't get that. You'll just be have to pay the shipping and you won't get the 10% reward credit for next time. Now, again, that will automatically place you on an auto ship, but do not fret about that because, again, you're not locked into anything. But you want to be on that Premier because it gives you benefits. So you want to make sure that you're on it. So you would click Premier Customer. You want to get started, but you have a couple of last minute questions. The reason that I don't do the one-on-one consultations anymore is because obviously I can reach so many more people at a time if I do it webinar style. The other thing is I only have time to talk to and the physical energy because I still deal with my physical challenges that I have. That doesn't go away. Things like fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue doesn't go away. When you lose weight, yes, you do feel better. And for me, I was kind of brag on my husband earlier and how he got off the CPAP machine and forgot to mention how his skin cleared up. Oh, he used to have terrible outbreaks and his skin cleared up just like, oh, it was amazing. But for me, what the biggest thing I noticed was my recovery time. If I do overdo it on a day like today where I'm especially busy or I'm doing a webinar or I'm trying to get back to so many people reaching out to me and that sort of thing, and I'm just exhausted. I can only push so far and then my body pushes back. But what used to knock me down for a week, now I can recover in a day. Sometimes just being off my feet overnight. And I'm better the next day. And that's really shocked me because that wasn't my life before. If something knocked me down, I was down for days on end. Even my back issues with my back, I can recover so much faster now than I could before. So let's say you want to get started, but you have a couple last minute questions, then we can hook up. You want to get started, but you're not sure which program you would do. Let's say you're diabetic. Most people, again, even diabetics can do the 5-in-1 optimal plan just fine. But if you are diabetic, then we need to hook up and have a little chat. So you can email me and say, hey, I want to get started, but I'm diabetic. So I want to make sure which program I would do. Maybe if you're a nursing mom and you're like, I want to do this, would I do the same program? So if there's any question whether or not you would do the same plan, but I'm telling you, 98% of people will do the 5-in-1 and do just fine. Even those who have gluten intolerance. I had a terrible gluten intolerance, but I'm telling you, this is pure nutrition you're putting in your body. So it may look like a chocolate bar. It may look like mac and cheese, but I'm telling you, it's super nutrition disguised as food. So it's up to you whether or not, you feel comfortable trying it or not. But I did, and I'm so glad that I did, because if I'd have just said I have a gluten intolerance, I can't do this, then I would have never known what it can do for me. And actually, it has so expanded my food categories of what I can eat because regular mac and cheese, regular oatmeal, couldn't touch it. But I can eat theirs all day long. It's just awesome. So those would be the reasons that if you need to get with me, you can either go ahead and place your first order on your own, or you can email me and say, hey, I have a couple of questions. Can you get with me? And I will get with you ASAP. I found this picture. This was a year ago. When I set up this webinar. It was May 27, 2020. So I'm not sure when you might be watching it. It may be this day, it may be another day, but that's neither here nor there. But these particular images I found just happened to be dated exactly a year ago today. So the program is still working. This is where we were on May 27, 2019, and this is where we are May 27, 2020. So yeah, it's still working, and that's with us being on a very comfortable maintenance mode. So I wanted to share that with you. You are now cordially invited to join me on this journey. And again, the first thing I would have you do is go to www.sherryhigdonprivatelist housekeeping.com, and that's going to get you on my private list. There's also going to be a link on there where you can email me from that page if you want, but I'm also going to give you my email. That would be, you can just email me directly at sherry@sherryhigdon.com. Again, go to sherryhigdonprivatelist.com to get on that list. And other than that, I just want to thank you for coming to hang out with me today. I have enjoyed spending our time together. I hope that I gave you a good insight as to what this program is about, what it can do for you, and why I think that it would be well worth. Uh, I believe you are worth the investment. I know that like a lot of people, you may think, well, I'm just going to try it on my own. Oh, that's a little expensive or whatever. Well, let me tell you something. You are worth it. You are worth the investment into yourself and your life, and the things that you will not have to pay for, like CPAP machines and medications. We have countless people who have gotten off of our drastically decreased their diabetic medications um, from being on this program. There's so many expenses and things that we pay for and buy now to help with aches and pains. We have a bed that's worth thousands of dollars. We paid thousands of dollars for this bed just to try to help us get better sleep at night, right? So with what we paid for that for that bed, that system, we could have easily have done this program. So I just want to encourage you to not let that scare you away. I want you to think about yourself, your future, your family, and how important your health is. I mean, health is currency. Especially the older we get, we realize our health is a currency, and it is priceless. It is priceless. So again, I just want to thank you for spending this time with me here tonight, and reach out to me. Go get on that list. Reach out if you need to, and otherwise, we will see you on the other side.